Liverpool fans, this one's for you. Big transfer messages, a worrying Isak injury update, VAR controversy explained, and Salah's dramatic Afcon winner. Subscribe now to Reds Focus LFC for the latest Liverpool news, transfers, and match reactions. Don't miss a thing. Antoine Semenyo sent Liverpool transfer message as Mohamed Salah theory dismissed. Antoine Semenyo continues to be linked with a January move to Anfield. Antoine Semenyo has been tipped as an ideal fit for Liverpool amid ongoing speculation linking him with a departure from Bournemouth. The forward has emerged as one of the Premier League's most sought-after talents since arriving from Bristol City. Liverpool aren't alone in their admiration for Semenyo, with Manchester City, Manchester United, and Tottenham Hotspur also reportedly monitoring the 25-year-old. Bournemouth have protected their asset with a £65 million release clause, which comes into effect next month. Capable of operating on either flank, speculation surrounding Semenyo in Liverpool has intensified following the news that Carragher Isak faces a period on the sidelines. He has also been put forward as a possible replacement for Mohamed Salah, who has been mentioned in connection with a January exit. Former Premier League midfielder Jermaine Jenas believes Semenyo would slot seamlessly into Liverpool's setup, potentially filling the gap left by Luis Diaz rather than Salah. Speaking to 10Bet, he said, "Semenyo would be perfect for Liverpool. More than replacing a potential Salah departure, I think it's addressing Luis Diaz's exit. I think Cody Gakpo is a little bit predictable at times, and I think someone with a little bit more of a dynamic edge to them down that left-hand side would be good." Jenas added, "I also think Spurs would be another good option for Semenyo. But then who else have you got? He's not going to go to Chelsea, he's not going to go to Manchester City. So yeah, I think Liverpool and Spurs are probably the two best options, for him to be looking at." Meanwhile, speculation remains rife about Salah's future at Liverpool. His outburst after the draw with Leeds United has led to rumors that he could seek an exit in January. Saudi Pro League clubs are reportedly interested in the Egyptian winger, and Jenas believes Liverpool should consider West Ham talisman Jarrod Bowen as a potential replacement. He said, Liverpool, the one I think that stands out for me is Jarrod Bowen, to go there in place of Salah. I think that's a more natural fit. I still can't believe they didn't go and get Michael Olise when he was available at Palace, but, they obviously felt with Salah they were going to get at least 2-3 more years out of him, which doesn't look like it's going to be the case.
Carragher Isak injury latest as Liverpool worst fears confirmed. Carragher Isak was injured in act of scoring Liverpool's opening goal in their 2-1 victory over Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday night. Carragher Isak is set to be sidelined for a number of months after it was discovered he suffered a leg fracture in Saturday's 2-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur, and the Liverpool striker has already undergone surgery in an effort to correct the issue after an MRI scan on Sunday. The Sweden international picked up the problem when he was caught by Mickey van de Ven when opening the scoring in Saturday's win in North London. Isak, who had only been on the pitch for 11 minutes as a second-half substitute, was immediately withdrawn for Jeremy Frimpong and was helped off the pitch by Dr. Jonathan Power and Chris Morgan, two members of the club's medical team. A scan took place on Sunday. Then, after diagnosis, an operation was completed on Monday on an ankle injury that included a fibula fracture. Liverpool are placing no timescale on the recovery process for the £125 million striker, but it's understood Isak is expected to be absent for at least a number of months. The update will come as a major blow for Arne Slot and his squad as they aim to build on a 6-game unbeaten run in all competitions that has taken them up to 5th in the Premier League ahead of a visit from rock-bottom Wolves on December 27th. Slot is due to speak to the media on Tuesday morning to preview that game and will be able to offer a more fulsome update on Isak. Isak arrived at Anfield on September 1st, having had no real pre-season schedule due to the protracted and acrimonious nature of his British record switch from Newcastle United. After an individually tailored program was designed to get him up to speed, the 26-year-old was then absent for a month with a groin injury picked up in the 5-1 win over Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League. It's a huge blow because I think Liverpool were one attacker short anyway, really, when you look at the makeup of the squad. Reds legend Jamie Carragher told Sky Sports on Monday, There's been a lot made of the challenges from Tottenham in the game, and a lot of them weren't clever. I've put myself in Van de Ven's position there, and that's probably a challenge I'd make. You've got to try and block it. It's just sort of the follow-through. I don't know where else anyone thinks his foot is going to go, but he has to make that challenge. He can't just let the striker get the shot away there in that situation. It's just really bad luck for Isak. That's one of the first real glimpses we've seen of his real quality in a Liverpool shirt, but yeah, it's a real big blow.
Jamie Carragher gives Liverpool final VAR red card verdict after horrific Spurs flashpoint. Jamie Carragher has given his verdict after Xavi Simon's tackle on Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk, which saw the Tottenham players sent off during their Premier League showdown. Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher has claimed it's hard to argue against Xavi Simons receiving a red card for his challenge on Virgil van Dijk. However, the Sky Sports pundit believes there was a different challenge that should have seen another Tottenham player sent off this weekend. Analyzing Simon's tackle on Liverpool's captain, Van Dijk, Carragher told Monday Night Football, "When I saw it at normal speed, I didn't think it was a red card, but then you slow it down and it looks horrific, but I think everything does slow down. But I've got a little bit of sympathy for Simons, and the reason I say this, and we are going to slow it down a lot now, and maybe that makes the tackle look a lot worse, but when I've been a player, the only thing I can think he's trying to do is, Virgil van Dijk's maybe going to go back to his goalkeeper, and sometimes when there's such a big difference in the size and power, and you're trying to leave one on somebody, almost knock them off the ball. I just want to really look at his eyes. Look at the way his arms are going. He's looking at the top of Virgil van Dijk. I actually think he's just clumsy, and he doesn't realize where his feet are going. I think he thinks, I'm going to leave one on him. We've all done that and give him a bit of a whack, maybe knock him over and give a foul. And look at his arms, the way they come up now to almost give a shove to him. Now, I know the tackle will look horrific because it's really slowed down, but his arms are there to go, I'm going to give Van Dijk a bit of a knock on the back, and I almost think he's not even aware of where his foot is going, and he's just caught him on the back. When you see it there, it looks horrific, and you can't almost say it's not a red card when you look at it like that, but I'm trying to put myself in his head and think what he was thinking, and that thing of like, we've all done it as players where you think, I'll just give someone a shoulder barge. But because of the difference in size is so big, he's almost overdone it, and he's just got clumsy where his foot is gone. But when you look at that as a still, it looks horrific. When asked if VAR should have stuck with the referee's original call of a yellow card, Carragher added, "Listen, I can't say it's not a red card, but if you're asking me would I rather that be a red card or Rodrigo Bentancur's challenge on Milos Kerkez, it would be Bentancur's challenge on Kerkez in the second half every day of the week." Although Arne Slot will be happy with 3 points away from home, the Dutchman won't be impressed with injury concerns surrounding Alexander Isak. The £125 million signing was unable to celebrate after scoring following a rough challenge by Mickey van de Ven. The Spurs defender was not shown a card for his tackle, which forced Isak off the pitch, but ex-pro Jay Bothroyd believes there should have been harsher punishment. He explained on Sky Sports show Ref Watch, Van de Ven has not intentionally tried to hurt Isak. Obviously, he's desperate to stop a goal and he's coming across to stop the shot. This is an example where, yes, Isak is scored, but this should still be a red card. He's lunging, he's going into him. Every explanation you want for a red card challenge is there. Because he scored, they've let it go. He's lunged, he's out of control. He's trying to make a block, but he's never going to get there. If that happened in the middle of the park, that's a red card. However, ex-Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher disagrees. He argued, I can't see that he's done anything that a footballer wouldn't. I would be astonished if that was given as a red card anywhere on the field. Players miss time challenges all the time. He's slightly late. It's not a red card, whether it be in the penalty area, in the D, the center circle, or the other half.
Mohamed Salah starts Afcon with dramatic late winner as Egypt survives scare. The Liverpool forward is aiming to win Afcon for the first time in his career and ended what looks set to be a frustrating opening game by grabbing the decisive goal in injury time. Mohamed Salah scored a dramatic injury time winner for Egypt in the team's opening game of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, Afcon, against Zimbabwe. The Liverpool winger endured an underwhelming display for long periods of Monday's encounter, but popped up with what proved to be the crucial goal in the 91st minute. Having chased the game for almost its entirety, Egypt looked set to begin the competition in Morocco with a disappointing draw. Prince Dube netted for Zimbabwe in the 20th minute, and it took until beyond the hour mark for Egypt to get back on level terms, with Manchester City's Omar Marmoush squeezing in his effort from a narrow angle. That was one of 32 shots produced by the Pharaohs, 11 of which on target, on what looked to be a frustrating night in Agadir. Then Salah did what he does best. The 33-year-old controlled a lofted ball into the box with his hip, held off defender Teenage Hadabay, and produced a clinical finish into the back of the net. That sparked delirious scenes in the crowd, many of whom could not have wished for a better ending. Salah had started the game brightly and nearly provided the opening goal in the early stages when his cross to the back post picked out former Aston Villa winger Trezeguet. His header was kept out by a combination of post and goalkeeper Washington Arubi. But Salah's influence waned as the game continued, and Egypt introduced more and more offensive players. Salah did manage 4 shots and ended the match playing in a more central position. Egypt's win comes after South Africa also began Group B with a 2-1 win over Angola. The victorious sides will meet on Friday in the second match of the group. For Salah, the 2025 tournament could represent his final chance to achieve Afghan glory. The Liverpool star is yet to lift silverware with his country, despite Egypt winning the competition more than any other nation. The last of Egypt's 7 wins came in 2010, and Salah was a beaten finalist in 2017 and 2021. Liverpool's number 11 departed for Afcon under a slight cloud in the aftermath of that bombshell interview at Leeds, but has started the tournament in the best possible circumstances. Salah's morale and training is very high, as if he were just starting out with the national team, said Egypt coach Hossam Hassan ahead of the Zimbabwe game. I believe he will have a great tournament with his country. Salah will be among the best players at the tournament, and he will remain an icon and one of the best players in the world.
£65 million Liverpool target will join if Reds make an offer, as Anfield deemed too good to turn down. Liverpool have been backed to be successful in their pursuit of Antoine Semenyo. Liverpool's leading transfer target, Antoine Semenyo, has been backed to join the Reds if they table an official offer for him. The Reds are eager to strengthen their options out wide, particularly on the right. They have been searching the market for a long-term successor to Mohamed Salah, who could potentially leave Anfield in 2026. The Egyptian superstar is once again heavily linked with Saudi Arabia, and rumors surrounding his future are more rife than ever. Salah sparked an increase in speculation in recent weeks following his bombshell post-match comments. The winger, unhappy with his lack of action on the pitch recently, accused the club of throwing him under the bus and claimed he no longer has a relationship with Arne Slot. Since then, Salah made an appearance against Brighton and assisted his side's second goal before heading off to the Africa Cup of Nations. However, his comments about saying goodbye to fans at Anfield have left room to speculate over whether that was his last game in red. Antoine Semenyo will sign for Liverpool if they come in for him. There has been plenty to digest over recent weeks on the subject of Semenyo's future. Liverpool are one of the main teams in the running for the Ghana international, and it was reported last week that he prefers Anfield over a move anywhere else. A new update from Sky Sports claims that Semenyo could make a decision on his future today, which could give the Reds an extra boost in their pursuit of his signature. Manchester United and Manchester City remain in the race for the winger, but Tottenham Hotspur are now out of the picture as they consider other options. Speaking on The Transfer Show on Monday, Sky Sports' Kaveh Solhakol has backed Liverpool to be successful in signing Semenyo should they approach with an official bid. If Liverpool come in for him, he'll go to Liverpool. Liverpool is too good a move to turn down. They have been big admirers of him. They have looked at signing him before. They also have a track record of signing players in January. Luis Diaz looked like he was going to Tottenham, and at the last minute, Liverpool came in for him. Cody Gakpo looked like he was going to Manchester United. Liverpool don't get involved in a bidding war. They wait until the last minute, until other clubs almost do a deal for a player, and then they make a phone call to say they will match the deal. Over the next few days, especially in light of Isak's injury, there will be discussions over whether they make a late move for Semenyo. How much will Antoine Semenyo cost?
If Liverpool opt to pursue Semenyo in the January transfer window, they will be able to trigger his $65 million release clause. The clause will become active on January 1st, but the Reds won't have a big opening to make their move. Fabrizio Romano reported last week that clubs will likely have less than 2 weeks to reach an agreement with both Bournemouth and Semenyo. The $65 million release clause is going to be valid until the beginning of January. It's not official, it's a private document, but sources say until around January 10th. That would be the expiration of the release clause for Antoine Semenyo from Bournemouth, the transfer expert revealed on his YouTube channel.